Saturday's here, turn the volume loud. Cartoon heroes crashing through the crowd. Ghostbusters, slime, He-Man's power attack. Turtles in the sewer and the Rangers fight back. Grab your cereal, let's relive the past. Alex is your host, prepare for a blast. Retro laughs with every track we slash. It's Slash Trax, Saturday's back. Slash Trax, cartoons on the attack.
Good morning, Slashketeers, and welcome back to the Slash Trax Clubhouse. I am Alex Vanover, and I am your host at the Slash Trax Clubhouse for this brand new, spanking hot, super fresh edition of Slash Trax Saturday Mornings. And today, we're leaving the clubhouse for just a short while, and we're going to take a walk down to Bayside High, and we're going to see what Zach Morris and the gang are up to in those hallowed halls of Bayside High. We're going to be reviewing, talking about, and deep diving the episode of Saved by the Bell, The Friendship Business. And this is the one where they start their own businesses, and shenanigans ensues, of course. You got to fill that time slot. You got to fill the episode out, so some stuff has to go down. This is season 1, episode 11. So this is not Miss Bliss, but this is the first season of Saved by the Bell, like the new version, the show that was actually popular. Miss Bliss wasn't a super big hit, but Zach was. So was Screech. So was Lisa. So was Belding. That's why they left Indiana, headed all the way over to the West Coast. Never mentioned it again. But that's a story for another day. The air date, November 4th, 1989. So I had just turned 6. So I was going into first grade at Bangor Elementary, and big things were on the horizon for Alex. I think I was in the phonics room, or the educational, the learning how to read room, doing crosswords and paint by numbers and stuff. The director was Don Barnhart. You might know Don from episodes of Hang Time, which was also on Teen NBC. He did Saved by the Bell, The New Class. He did 91 episodes of The New Class. He did 38 episodes of California Dreams. He did 3 episodes of Mork and Mindy, so he did some like primetime stuff there. Not a lot though. And he did 81 episodes of Saved by the Bell, the original show. So Don Barnhart is a Teen NBC guy. So he is like the Saturday morning live action high school guy. So you need a Saturday morning show, live action, Don's your man, okay? Writer, Sam Bobrick. And Sam Bobrick actually has creator credit. I guess he came up with the idea for Saved by the Bell, or Miss Bliss, or whatever. He was involved in every Saved by the Bell iteration. So all the way from Miss Bliss, both movies, Wedding in Las Vegas and Hawaiian Style, College, the new one that just came out. I'm not sure. He had passed away in 2018, and that show ended in 2020 or maybe 2020 something, but he had passed, and he was still getting writing credits. So it's probably because he came up with the characters. Let's do a little bit of background and kind of just, what was the landscape of 1989? Let's kind of dive into that a little bit before we start breaking the episode down. The top 3 Billboard albums of 1989, Slashketeers. Bobby Brown was number 1. Don't Be Cruel. New Kids on the Block, Hanging Tough was number 2. Paula Abdul, Forever Your Girl was number 3. And I remember Paula Abdul just absolutely just being all over the place running the show. I felt like she would have been number 1. That surprises me actually quite a bit. Bobby Brown, I kind of always thought he was just like kind of a hanger-on for Whitney, but apparently I was wrong because he had his own thing going on. He wasn't just New Edition. He was kind of all over the place. He was on the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack. Bobby Brown was doing big things. It's kind of sad to see that what substance abuse had done to him. Let's take a break real quick. Let's go to our first commercial break because we got to hit all of our sponsors on Saturday mornings. They're chomping at the bit to get their little bit of product on the screen here. So let's go to our first commercial break right now.
To leave messages. We'll be right back.
My Super Golden Crisp cereal really shakes up this nutritious breakfast. Those 8 vitamins always seem to come in handy. Pitter-patter of little feet, probably after the sweet crispy wheat. Que pasa, Toro?
Also your cereal, Sugar Bear.
No way, Jose. How about a vitamin-packed punch? Olé. It doesn't pay to be a bully. I can't get enough Super Golden Crisp. It's got the crunch with punch.
Yeah.
Man, I could use a bowl of Sugar Crisp cereal right now. I wonder how many calories per serving it is. It's got to be like 140 to 150, something like that. All those sugary cereals have something like that. Absolutely zero nutritional value. Probably not a lot of nutritional value from the toast, the orange juice, the huge glass of milk that you're having with a big bowl of milk. I never really understood the balanced breakfast, picture they'd put in those commercials. It's like, why are you drinking milk when you already drank milk in your bowl? Why? Orange juice and Sugar Crisp? That's not a great combo. That's like brushing your teeth and then eating a tomato. Not a great idea there, Post or whoever made that commercial. Top toys of 1989. So the Game Boy from Nintendo just absolutely dominated. Sold huge amounts of Game Boys that year. Tetris was a major reason for that. You could play Tetris anywhere, on the go, in the car, camping, whatever you wanted to do. Ninja Turtles toys were still very, very, very popular. They were definitely in their prime. 1989 Batman toys that were inspired by the 1989 movie were just ready to explode and boom. They were selling all over the place. I remember getting the Sears catalog or the JCPenney's catalog, being a little guy, circling all the stuff I wanted and bringing it to my grandma and being like, hey, Christmas, birthdays, make sure you check these out, Helen. This is very important. And I also remember if you ordered anything from those catalogs, it took like a whole school year to get it. It took forever. Polly Pocket was popular. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero was still huge. My Little Pony, Cabbage Patch Kids were still selling a bunch. Cabbage Patch Kids were huge. I remember all the little girls having them, and they were so excited that it came with an actual birth certificate, and it was like adopting your own baby. It was like whoever came up with that was a genius. Little girls love to play house. They love to play mom. It's just great marketing. Genius. What was going on with wrestling around 1989? So we have one major storyline. The Mega Powers have exploded. Macho Man Randy Savage is the champion going into WrestleMania 5. Hulk Hogan is the challenger. He's just coming back from No Holds Barred, so he's challenging Randy for his belt back, and he beat him at WrestleMania 5. The Mega Powers exploded, and it led to some more matches with Zeus, Hogan's co-star, in No Holds Barred. So I remember being a kid, and we talked about this on the Slash Trax No Holds Barred review. It's like, even as a little kid, I was like, Zeus isn't real. This is a movie character. How is he wrestling? Why is Hogan, but not Rip, but Zeus is still Zeus? Like, even as a 6-year-old, I could smell something was fishy. Totally ridiculous. Vince, do better. Top movies of 1989. Batman, 1989, $251 million, which is just ridiculous money for 1989. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, $197 million. Lethal Weapon 2, $147 million. Rain Man, $139 million. Number 5, first movie I ever saw in the movie theater, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, at $130 million. I even remember being at my grade school. It wasn't a school day. My brother, my dad, and I were hitting baseballs, throwing baseballs, doing something in the field. And my dad's like, well, we got to hurry up and get home to have dinner because we're going to the movies tonight. And I was like, what the hell is going to the movies? And we went and saw Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and I had a blast. Such a good movie. Worst films of 1989, according to Rotten Tomatoes. So, Dream a Little Dream, the two Coreys, 0%. I've tried to watch that movie. It's like a body swap movie. Kind of like their twist on Freaky Friday. It's not good. It's a lot of Corey. This is when Corey started really leaning heavy into the Michael Jackson stuff. It was almost like, you want me to be in the movie? I'm going to write my own character and I'm going to do my own stuff. I believe his first ever music single was from this movie, so he must have talked his way into that too. Corey Haim's kind of like the side character. Feldman's the star, which is a switcheroo for these two guys. Not sure I like that dynamic. I don't think the audience did either. I think Corey Haim was the more popular of the two, more talented of the two. I think Corey Haim had demons he just could not get it together. And it was way too bad because he could have been a great actor. He was a very good actor. He had a great presence. He was good. Corey Haim is missed. Number 2, according to Rotten Tomatoes, worst films of 89. Jason Takes Manhattan at 9%. I like this movie because it's Jason. I like that it's Kane Hodder. I like the design of it. I don't like that he's so wet throughout the whole movie. I don't like that it's mostly on a boat. I don't like that there's not enough New York. There's some stuff that the main character, Rennie, does that's very questionable. Like, she drives the car into a wall and basically unalives her teacher, who's like her actual friend who wants to take care of her. It's just, there's a lot of questionable things. But it's a Jason movie, so I like it. It's like pizza. It's all good, in my opinion. Not one of the best Jason films, but still a fun movie to watch. A movie called Communion with 10%, and I've never seen this movie, but it's about a guy who thinks he dreams something terrible, but it turns out the dream wasn't a dream, it was real. So it sounds like a pretty decent premise. Might have to check that out, even though it has 10%. Slashketeers, if you know anything about the movie Communion, leave a comment down below. I'd like to hear about it. Hear No Evil, See No Evil, Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. They had started doing buddy films kind of in the 80s. And I feel like this movie could have been a hit if it was... I don't know why it wasn't a hit. I remember seeing it in my local video store constantly. I never rented it, I don't believe. I think I've seen pieces on like TNT and stuff, but like these two guys are comedic geniuses. It's crazy that this wasn't a hit. They must have had some terrible writing on this film. I might have to check that out too. But that movie had 13%. And number 5, worst film of 1989, according to Rotten Tomatoes, Cyborg, Jean-Claude Van Damme's movie, 14%. Cyborg was, they used all the leftover props, sets, and clothing from the Masters of the Universe sequel they were going to make. And when that movie, the first film, Masters of the Universe 1987, bombed, they pivoted and gave all that stuff to Cyborg, and they threw a movie together with Van Damme. I've never seen Cyborg. Has a cool cover. 14% is probably why I haven't seen it. Probably not a lot of good word of mouth. Fashion trends of 1989. Got a lot of acid wash jeans, high-waisted jeans, preppy styles, so Zach Morris would have fit right in, like polos. I don't think they were popping collars yet. Lacoste shirts, bold colors, bright colors, crazy patterns, kind of like a thumbnail. Like, looks like a rockin' bowl, cosmic bowling carpet. A lot of that kind of stuff. Animal prints, Snooki would have just fit right in. All of Jersey Shore would have loved it. And you know what? Let's cleanse our palate from what was going on, the landscape of 1989. Let's go to our second commercial break, and let's see what this sponsor has to offer us.
Stay tuned. Saturday morning videos. We'll be right back.
Take a good look. It's the Cobra Pogo. Joe's got trouble. He's got it bad. Pogo's got a pogo and it's up in hand. Pogo's loaded for action.
It's the new Cobra Commander, Cobra!
But Joe's coming back with the G.I. Joe Slam.
On the run for gun, G.I. Joe Slam!
It's out back in Creation Land.
It's got a 4-cannon gun that can swivel to face the enemy.
G.I. Joe, American hero!
Live the adventure of G.I. Joe. Cobra Pogo, G.I. Joe Slam, and figures sold separately.
Go, Joe!
All right, Slashketeers, we're back. Let's start. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. 14 minutes in, about maybe 13 minutes in, we're going to start actually breaking down and deep diving the friendship business. Let's waste no more time. Let's get right into it. All right, the episode starts with Zach announcing a group project for economics. So he's kind of like looking at the camera. He said they put their heads together, him and his friends, and all they got was a headache. So Zach is doing late night monologues to start episodes of Saved by the Bell now. He literally strolls in and looks at the camera. He breaks the fourth wall, just like Johnny Carson, Jay Leno. Zach is a late night host at this point. Zach approaches the gang and asks if they came up with anything. You guys come up with anything? And they're like, zip, nothing. We came up with nada. And I say, not even Jesse or Screech. They're literally the best students at Bayside. So don't they share valedictorian in the graduation episode? Or maybe Screech got it and Jesse like almost got it. I find it really hard to believe that these two overachievers didn't have an idea for a business that they're going to sell a product, you know, at Bayside in a group project setting. This is ridiculous. I do not believe this for 1 second. Doesn't Screech have a robot, Kevin, that's like sentient at this point? Like it's basically another human being that he couldn't have put his head together with his artificial intelligence, iRobot, Will Smith robot in his room. Not buying this. Especially Jessie. There's no way. She was taking caffeine pills. She was She was an overachiever to the max. There's no way that she didn't come up with an idea. Lisa walks in and hands out friendship bracelets. So this is kind of a major coincidence, wouldn't you say? She made them in Fashion Club. Mr. Tuttle, one of my favorite teachers, by the way, he's kind of like a heavier set guy, but he's really peppy and happy and very motivational, and he's all positive. He's always in a good mood. Mr. Tuttle walks in and class starts. So he's saved by the bell, Slashketeers. He's almost late to his own class. He wants to know what everyone's businesses are what are the businesses gonna be, kids? What are we doing here? The first to present their project are 3 surf dudes who made a cardboard surfboard that folds up. So Surf and Fold is the company name. Slater says it's going to sink because it is made of cardboard. This is ridiculous. They never mention in their presentation that they're going to change it from cardboard to something else. So this is not going to work. But there's hope. Mr. Tuttle's like, you know what? A lot of people said all these other companies were going to fail, and I like the idea, and I'm going to give you, the go to do this company. So the nerds show up. They're the next to present. They have pocket protector protectors, and they're presenting, and of course they go the stereotypical Saved by the Bell's early 90s trope of the overweight nerd is more distracted by wanting to know what they're going to eat later as opposed to presenting their project in class. So apparently, I'm currently overweight. I've been really overweight. I can vouch for this kid on Saved by the Bell. Just because you're overweight doesn't mean you're constantly thinking about what you're going to eat and talking about what you're going to eat. This is ridiculous. This is lazy writing. This is bad writing. All right. Tuttle calls on Jesse for their presentation, and Jesse is about to say they have nothing. Zach interrupts, saves the day, Saved by the Bell, chimes in and improvises a friendship bracelet business because they just got those friendship bracelets from Lisa. All the group was, Mr. Tuttle likes it. All the groups that presented got $100 seed money. So Mr. Tuttle okayed everyone that presented, including Zach and Jesse's friendship, bracelet business. My question is this real money? Tuttle's handing them $100. How many kids throughout the years of Bayside spent this on other stuff and actually committed fraud? How many kids during the course of these projects did not spend the money on growing their business or starting their business in this class? I find it hard to believe that these kids are all that trustworthy. There's no way, man. I would have spent some of that money on a burger basket down at the candy corn when I was in high school. There's no way. Cut to Zach's room. Zach and Screech are discussing how many bracelets they can make. Screech says 19 is possible. Zach says they need way more than that. So Zach's already thinking like big picture here, guys. Now Screech and Zach are having a shared daydream about being rich. They're sharing, they're in the daydream together, Slashketeers. This is like Dream Warriors, like they're linking up. Zach is the dream master, apparently. Zach is in Belding's office after running the bracelet business. So this is the dream here. He just closed the deal on buying Bill Cosby. So that's what, I just bought Bill Cosby. This is an awful investment for our boy Zach. Jigglers, do Jigglers exist anymore? Jello pudding doesn't exist anymore. I don't think Cosby's selling a lot of DVDs, seasons of The Cosby Show. I don't know about The Cosby Mysteries, how well that's performing in syndication. Bill Cosby is a convicted felon. I'm not sure that Bill Cosby was a great investment, Zach. We may need to switch up your portfolio and diversify. In the delusion here, or the dream, Slater is a dumb foreman for Zach that just does whatever he says. Lisa's exhausted. She's making way too many bracelets. He's an absolute asshole, even in his own daydream. So Zach's daydreaming. He's thinking about this himself. He's mean in his own daydreams, not just in real life, but in his imagination as well. He's a psychopath. Jesse is his assistant. Belding is his limo driver, and Kelly is his wife, and she's basically like a Real Housewife, like money grubbing type. She's wearing like a prom dress sort of deal. So we get out of the daydream here. We cut to the rest of the gang. Comes to Zach's room. They show up. Zach says they need to mass produce. Lisa says the fashion club can make 60 a day, and they can make 80 if they're paid. Zach says 60 is totally fine. So Zach hears 80 if they're paid is like, no, 60, totally fine. Maybe we could squeeze out 62, 63, possibly. So Zach's full villain, full bad guy here. Slater names the group Friendship Forever. Everybody likes it. Everybody agrees. Time to pick a vice president. Jesse nominates Zach because he came up with the idea. Zach is kind of confused by this, and he says, I thought, I should be president. The group disagrees, and Slater said yesterday they all agreed Jesse would be the president. So you're going back on what we talked about already, Zach, and your 1 vote against 5 doesn't really work here. Zach says that was when they didn't have a product. He's the person to be cutthroat, and Jesse is too soft, which is correct. I mean, it is correct, but nobody said you had to be like that, but it seems like a lot of successful business people are, cutthroat. Jesse says, I'll just start my own company. Slater and Kelly follow Jesse. Screech and Lisa stay. Zach challenges him to see who sells more. Let's go. So the drama's building. Drama's picking up here. There's trouble in the hollowed halls of Bayside High. Let's go to our 3rd commercial break.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Look who's at McDonald's.
There's a cheeseburger here with my name on it.
It's Garfield Days at McDonald's. Now when you get your kids McDonald's Happy Meal,
Here, cheeseburger.
they'll get one of 4 exclusive Garfield push toys.
I'm so adorable, it's scary.
There's Garfield on a scooter, a skateboard,
Cheeseburger.
a 4-wheeler, even a motor scooter.
Garfield, would you watch my cheeseburger, please?
Trust me.
So hurry, Garfield Days won't last forever. McDonald's Garfield Happy Meal. Collect all 4.
Garfield Happy Meal. This commercial has everything. McDonald's, Garfield, that old school Happy Meal box, everything about it. I love those Garfield coffee mugs they had in the 80s. I love anything Garfield. I'm a huge fan of Garfield. I'm a huge fan of McDonald's, especially 80s McDonald's. This hits all the member berries for me, Slashketeers. Next day at school, Zach is selling tons of bracelets. So the bracelet idea is absolutely working. Not sure if they're cutting Taylor Swift in on this new and wonderful product. Zach tells Slater, okay, hold on. Slater shows up, sees that they're selling a bunch of bracelets. Zach tells Slater, if you beg me, I'll let you back into the group. Slater says, no thanks, not really into it. We go back to class. Zach has made $120 profit, he tells Mr. Tuttle. Jesse and her group unveil their new business to Mr. Tuttle, and it's on the rollaway Teacher is Hungover TV. So, Slashketeers, if you guys remember when you were kids and you saw the TV get rolled in and the lights dimmed, it's going to be a good day. Little did we know that the teacher was probably hungover also. So, Mr. Tuttle might be a little hungover in this episode or in this scene. Jesse and her group unveil their new business on the TV, like I just said. It's a studio quality commercial. Choreographed dance number and lines nailed, dance moves nailed, highly intricate dance moves, lighting. This looks like it's expensive, and I doubt that they used the $100 seed money to make this commercial. And how did they make it overnight? They just quit Friendship Forever. They just quit the night before. Did they all just go down to NBC? And Brandon Tartikoff, the guy who runs NBC at the time, did he just give them the keys to the production studio? And how do they know how to do this? How? I can believe a lot of things on Saturday mornings. He-Man, most powerful man in the universe, no problem. Ninja Turtles, 4 turtles mutate, become ninja crime-fighting superheroes. Got it. Okay. Superman, he can fly, jump tall buildings in a single bound, faster than a locomotive. Bulletproof. I believe all that more than I believe that they created this video for buddy bands overnight and with no money and with no experience. I find that really hard to believe. Slashketeers, what do you guys think about them putting this video out this fast? With this quality? There's no TikTok in 1989. This is ridiculous. So it's buddy bands. Okay. Slater leads the clapping at the end of the video for his own product. So Slater's like, Slater's feeling himself. He's digging it. I would feel good too if I was Slater. It's amazing. He must have been the one who put the whole video together. He's very proud of himself. This is an astonishing feat. Zach objects because it's the same product. Tuttle says there's room for similar products on the market. Jesse says, stupid wristband. Yours is a stupid wristband. Ours is a clever headband. Jesse says they never got... Oh, wait. Yeah, so that's what Jesse says. But I have a note here. I wrote it wrong. They never got seed money, though. You never see Tuttle hand Jesse's group seed money. So who's paying for this stuff? Is this out of pocket? Kelly doesn't even work at the Max yet at this point. So I don't know where they're getting this money. Is Mr. Slater paying for it with his army money? I don't know. So we cut to the Max. Zach's group is drowning their sorrows in soda. Max, the guy who owns the place, he's a magician, does a magic trick that isn't really helpful. And he's all in black. He's not wearing his red work shirt right now. He's like in a full magician's outfit at work. He does mention a premium, though, in his magic trick, which sparks an idea in Zach. And he comes up with an idea for a premium for their friendship bracelets. It's basically Screech. Every time you buy a friendship bracelet, you get Screech for an hour. So Screech is essentially your dance partner. Screech does your homework. Screech does manual labor for you. Zach is pimping out Screech. I have no other way to put this. We go back to Zach's room. He's absolutely spent. We go back to Zach's room. Screech is absolutely spent. Screech has been working all day long. Zach decides Lisa is the new friend then. If Screech can't handle it anymore, he's too tired, Lisa will be the new friend. But don't let it interfere with her other work. Lisa tells Zach to FO and takes Screech with her. So they're out. Zach is totally off. He's totally off his rocker on this one. He's going to have Lisa and Screech both be manual labor. He doesn't have to do anything. He's not making the wristbands. He's not doing any of the perk stuff. He came up with the idea. I don't understand why he's running everything. He's an asshole. At school the next day, Lisa and Screech join Jesse's group. So now there's 5 against 1. Zach shows up and closes his booth down in front of them. Zach admits defeat and buys a buddy band. He proceeds to give Belding one. So Belding's in the locker room in like a tank top, like 80s workout outfit. Kind of looks like Olivia Newton-John in the physical. Let's get physical video. He's doing bicep curls. And Zach wants to give Belding a buddy band. So he gives him a buddy band. And this has one of the funniest lines in all of Saved by the Bell to me. Belding's like, this is historical. You want to give me a buddy band? And Zach says, badly, sir. So Zach is up to something, but he says he badly wants to give Belding this buddy band. So there's more to it than what is on the page here. He proceeds to give Belding one. We cut to Jessie, and she pulls a power trip. So she's kind of turning into Zach a little bit, and she demands 500 buddy bands that need to be made by tomorrow. They have the market cornered, so they're going to try to strike while the iron's hot. This is Zach all over again, I say. Belding wears the buddy band around school, and the students see him wearing it. So this is right. They all see him wearing it right after she says, we need 500 more buddy bands made. They're no longer cool. Buddy bands are out. Buddy bands are dead, Slashketeers. If Belding's wearing one, nobody's wearing one, except for Belding. Slater shows up with 500 fresh buddy bands. So the order was filled. Lisa didn't want to do it in the first place, by the way, in the scene when Jessie orders 500 more. Lisa's like, what are you talking about? So Slater shows up with 500 fresh new buddy bands. He says these ought to last for an hour. No such luck, buddy. You're not going to sell any of those. Buddy, you're not selling any buddy bands. I have a note here. 500 buddy bands. They've already been selling these like crazy. How many students are in this school? When I was in high school, there was about 800 students. If they've already sold like 500 and they bought 500 more, is every student buying 2 or 3? I'm not sure. What's the math on this? How many? So they're going to sell 500 in an hour. They already had product before. They had already sold a ton before. This is not making sense. I don't know. This is like Pokemon. Like collect them all. You get every different color of buddy bands. And we never see the Fashion Club, not one time in this entire episode. They're just off screen. They're like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. They're a plot device. That's how they're being made. The audience doesn't need to know. It's the Fashion Club's making them. You don't actually ever see the Fashion Club though. Excuse me. All right. Cut to the max. All right, we go to the max. Everyone's fighting in the group, Jesse's group. Zach shows up. He sits alone and tells Max he put them out of business because they put him out of business. Because Max is like, why are you sitting by yourself? Why aren't you sitting with your friends? And he's like, well, I put them out of business because they put me out of business. He doesn't want to order anything either. So Zach is just taking up a table here for poor Max. Max is a good guy. He's always trying to help these kids. He's always trying to provide kind of like some good influences, be like a father figure almost to these kids. He's doing magic tricks at his own restaurant. He should be cooking or serving, but he's taking his time out to perform these magic tricks. In the coat, like the outfit that the bad magician wore in the Frosty the Snowman cartoon that used to play every year. He looks like this guy. But Zach's loitering. Zach's not buying anything. This is the thanks Max gets. Zach's like, nah, not sitting with my friends. Also, I'm going to take this table up and I'm not ordering anything. Deal with it. So Zach is like a villain for the 9th time here. This is inadvertently, though. I don't think he knows he's being a villain. All right, what else do we got? Oh, yeah, I said, then leave. You're loitering, sir. All right, here we go. Max gives friendship bracelets to the gang from Zach. And this must be off screen because I never see Zach hand him friendship bracelets to give to them. But this is clutch, Max. So Max steps up again. They all make up and forgive one another. Screech has this is another great line. This might be the best line. I said the other one was. This might be the best. Screech has missed Zach so much. This is the day after he left the group. He says, "My, how you've grown." It's good. It's good. It's good. It's been one night. They give Zach a buddy band. Zach says maybe they can combine both products. Cut to school the next day. They made love cuffs. So now it's like a dating thing. If a boy and a girl are dating, they like use the Friendship Forever wristband and the buddy band and they tie them together. And now it's like a thing. It's a new product, whatever. Bracelet handcuffs. The gang gave away all their inventory though. Damn it, excuse me. And made no profit. Tuttle still gives them an A because they learned humanity and friendship is also important in business. Actually more important probably. And that's the end of the episode. That's the end of the breakdown of the actual episode. We're gonna break down some of the like what I think, some of my favorite parts, some of my least favorite parts. I'm gonna give this thing a grade. How many buddy bands out of 4 do I think this is? You guys leave a grade down below too in the comments. And we're gonna go to our 4th commercial break, and I'll see you right after these messages.
Saturday morning videos will be right back.
I can't wait to get a drink. Why wait? Hey, Kool-Aid!
Oh yeah, Crash Bang goes back Kool-Aid, wipes out thirst for you.
Oh, yeah.
Crash a bang of Kool with a big bright smile and a fun taste too.
Oh, yeah.
Dynamite taste.
Sure, Kool-Aid is a smash.
Kool-Aid brand soft drink mix.
Oh yeah.
All right, Slashketeers, we're back. Did I like the episode? Was I into the plot and storyline? I really enjoyed this episode. This was a good episode. Lisa, Screech, and Slater really stand out in this one. Super loyal. They're all hardworking. They're dependable. They're flexible. Show a lot of character in this episode. Those 3 specifically. It's interesting to see the group divide. They did something similar to this in Zach's War when they're like doing military stuff at the school. It's always Lisa, Screech, and Zach versus Kelly, Jesse, and Slater. That for some reason the writers always like split them up like that. It's a fun concept to see them running a business. Nice change of pace from the typical storylines at the high school. Interesting to see them in different dynamics and stuff. Really a chance to shine for Screech. See a different side of Jesse. See a different side of not really a different side of Slater, but just nice to see the characters have a little bit more depth and more growth instead of just being typical high school students. How about that? I think one of the best things Saved by the Bell did was to have such different and diverse characters that all, like, they have a nerd in the group. They have a fashionista. They have a dirtbag, handsome dirtbag, Zach. He was my favorite kid on Saved by the Bell as a kid, and he's my least favorite now. Slater or Screech might be my favorite. I also really like Lisa. Slashketeers, who's your favorite character from Saved by the Bell? Let me know in the comments below. Favorite parts, least favorite parts. I would say my favorite parts is either the comment where Screech is like, my how you've grown, after he had only not seen Zach for one night. I also really like the comment Zach makes when he says, you know, Belding's like, you want to give me a buddy band? And Zach's like, badly, sir. That's great writing. That is very good writing. What else? Oh, Screech. They're at the table. They're having, you know, they're all like putting their heads together. They're kind of fighting the group of five, and they're like, are you thinking what we're thinking? And they're thinking about doing something else. And Screech is like, more fries? That's what I would have said too. When I was that age, it's like, man, cheeseburgers. How can I get to McDonald's? How can I get to Taco Bell? How can I get my hand on $5? Screech and I were very similar in that mindset. Zach being, okay, least favorite parts. Zach being ruthless and no, hold on. My other favorite part, Zach being ruthless and saying 60 is fine when Lisa says 80 bracelets can be made, friendship bracelets can be made if they pay, and Zach's like, no, 60 is fine, totally fine. The writing's good. I really like these lines. Zach is totally the villain. I have a little note here. He's almost, I have another note. He's like Vince McMahon. He's like Donald Trump. He's totally ruthless. Least favorite parts of this episode. This is glaring. How did Slater, Jesse, and Kelly make that video? It's ridiculous. How did they make the video? Also, there's no internet back then. They're just changing the group dynamic over and over again, splitting up, starting new products. There's no seed money for the other group. Where's that money coming from? There's a lot of questions. Mr. Tuttle's not really involved till the next day. He's not really signing off on this stuff, but he needed to sign off on the initial group project. That doesn't make sense to me. But overall, I can overlook everything except for them making that video. So that's the only reason this episode isn't getting a 4 out of 4. Slashketeers, I'm going to give this episode, out of a total 4 buddy bands, 4 being the best, 1 being the worst, I'm going to give it a 3. And it's totally based on that video. Slashketeers, let me know your score down below. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. What's your favorite parts? What's your least favorite parts? You can watch these Saved by the Bell episodes for free on Tubi, and they're also available on Amazon Prime. I hope you guys have a great Saturday morning. I hope you guys have some amazing cereal. Maybe you're lucky and get some eggs and bacon. Maybe Grandpa made you something like he used to do for me. Just wonderful memories with my grandpa when on Saturdays he'd make me eggs. It was just such a big deal. I'll see you guys on the next one, and I'm out of here. I'm leaving the Slash Trax Clubhouse. Mahalo, dogs. I'll see you next weekend.